we all have different triggers, and sometimes we may not. For a while, I'll just give you a little information about myself in case that someone else relates to it. So when I was a child, I had such bad anxiety. It just started one day. I'd always been super outgoing, involved in a lot of different things where I was always performing, and I was perfectly comfortable with that. And it was almost like performing gave me the opportunity to go outside of myself and not have to be aware of my thoughts and what was really at the core of my issues. So I acted like someone else and presented myself in a way that was more comfortable than really acknowledging things that weren't right within me that I didn't want to work on. And I did that for a really long time. And then what happened when you have that kind of dichotomy within yourself and you're presenting and acting in a way that you eventually feel like you become that person, and you think that you can, portray yourself to yourself as that person who you've created externally to the world, to other people. So that dichotomy eventually is going to cause friction when you are by yourself, when you find yourself in situations where you're not surrounded by people that are giving you validation for this persona you created. When you have to be okay with who you are when you're by yourself. When everyone who you relied on to give you affirmations or positive reflections of yourself change in some way, or start to have their own internal crises, or things fall apart around them, so that they're looking to you for answers because they see you as someone solid and strong. And then sure, you can step back into that persona and give them strength and encouragement and advice based on the person you created, but at the core you'll start to realize, I'm going through the same thing and I don't know how to deal with it. I'm crumbling when I'm by myself, and I don't know what to do. I don't know how to go forward. I don't have anyone to help me pick up the pieces and put myself back together. And that's when you're left by yourself and with nothing else but who you really are, when you can really start to have anxiety that maybe you get up in the morning and you feel like you can't breathe, or you have to go to work or do whatever commitment it is, and these things that people are expecting of you and you have to do to pay the bills or whatever it is. Maybe you have children or others relying on you and you just can't function. It's in those moments where you have to find a way to motivate and inspire yourself and deal with those things in a way that's not going to be crippling to the point where you can't leave your house or get out of bed or deal with other people. So that's when I really turned to meditation, and I have a really good friend who was, when I first got COVID actually, and I felt like I couldn't breathe, and I was just by myself and isolated, and kind of led me to different breathing techniques that I was like, oh, I really can be okay with myself and focus my awareness on a part of me that can help me heal myself, because no one else can do that for you in those moments. It's only you. And if you're relying on someone else to help you get through these things, and I'm not saying don't talk to a counselor, don't talk to an advisor, don't get legal help or whatever it is you need. This is about being in a moment with yourself before you can even reach out to anyone else, right? Because if you're not in a place to even like get out of bed or be able to breathe or feel like you can't breathe, then you're not going to be in a place to be able to like reach out to other people for help, right? So how do we deal with that initial feeling of anxiety, of not being able to breathe, of, you know, maybe you're in a public place and you start to feel this, and you can't just run home and be by yourself and like self-soothe or whatever, however it is that you may have been able to do it in the past, because we're all back in public now with other people, expected to go about our daily lives interacting with one another, right? So yeah, I will just tell you, when I was a child, so I had different situations. I maybe had an unusual upbringing, but when I got introduced into the school system, and I won't go into my background too much, but when I got introduced into the school system with other people, I thrived on it in public, and loved interacting. I got involved in all these different things and was super active and had so many friends and people around me all the time. But there were moments when things triggered me, and at the time I didn't know what it was, but things would trigger me, and I just couldn't function, and I would have to leave. I would just feel this urge that everything was too loud around me. The things that people were saying, it was just like so far behind, or I was just like not connecting, or so bored, or I just wanted to be doing a million other things and I wasn't there. I just wanted to be anywhere else but there, and I wasn't feeling like people were understanding me, or I was seeing things in a totally different way that, you know, when you're in an environment like a structure where you're expected to act a certain way or do things a certain way, and you're just in such an exponentially different place than them, or thinking things like having all these ideas of how things could be done, but they're not, and you're having to be like forced into this way of doing things, and it doesn't mesh with how you learn or how you create or how you see the world, even if you get to the same end result, just in a different way, and having people be like, no, you have to do it this way, and not meshing with that. And that, you know, that's a lot for a young person to decompress and understand in the moment. You don't have the experience or the mental ability or cognitive like awareness to unpack that in like 20 seconds, whatever it is, 15 seconds, 5 seconds, when that starts to come up within you, and you meet that resistance, and it turns into like full-blown just anxiety paralyzation, where you feel like you just can't move. And so what do? You just freeze, and everything around you is just noise, and you just don't want to be there anymore, so you shut everything out, and you just don't deal with anyone, and you just maybe run to a place that feels safe to you, and you hide. Or, you know, for me, that's what it was. Or you turn to maybe substances or behavior patterns that maybe aren't for your highest good, or that help you hide away that part of you, so that you learn how to be a person in this world that other people will respond to and are okay with and feel not afraid of or safe around, or who are accepted, and not even just accepted, but you you learn, for me at least, you learn to blow it so far away from who you really are that you go in such an opposite direction that people just can't be drawn to you, right? And so that there's no possibility of having a rejection. So that you never have to deal with that part of you that you try to hide away, that, you know, if people really saw, would trigger abandonment or rejection or fear or being left alone or triggering that anxiety again of whatever it is that triggers you. And oftentimes we don't realize, people around us, I think, when we're children, do the best they can, and they love us, and they try to give us the love that they know, but we're all limited in how we come into our beings in this world at this time with what we bring with us and what we know, our memories. And that even when we try to do the opposite, that still shapes us, and that's still within us in such an integral, innate, woven way that unless we consciously are aware of that and work on it and spend time to understand and know that part of us and become aware of it consciously, then that's the only way to remove that and release it as a part of our identity and of who we think we are, of who we've been told we are, of who we've carried on for generations, and not even in more than generations, like from our ancestors and people we've never known or met, but it's all a part of us, and we carry that with us. And if we don't understand where certain emotions or feelings come from, it could be coming from like generations of things, traumas, addictions, mindsets that have never been dealt with. And so I think that with these sessions, that's something that I hope to bring to you and that we can work on together, because we all carry these, and it presents itself in different ways for each of us, right? But collectively, we're all working through this right now, which is why I'm here, which is why I'm being vulnerable with you and sharing these things that are not easy for me to share, because it would require me to break down this image that I've created of myself to everyone around me. And I've built careers around it, and I have formed relationships around that persona and my own creation of who I want to present myself as to others, right? And we all do that to a certain extent, and sometimes it's necessary for what we are trying to accomplish, or we think it's necessary, but is it? If you find yourself in a position where you have to present yourself in a certain way, and you feel like if you don't, then the people around you would disappear, then that's a big clue for you that you're not surrounding yourself with people who are genuine and authentically there because they want to be there for you, the real you. And maybe you haven't given, and maybe that's not fair to say right now, because perhaps you haven't shown your real self to them yet. You haven't given them a chance to see you for who you really are. And now is the time to do that. We are in between eclipse seasons, and this is the perfect time to let that version of yourself that isn't authentic go, so that we can all see the real you, so that you can see the real you and learn how to move forward in a genuine, authentic life that will really serve your highest purpose and your highest good, and allow you to move forward toward what it is that will really help you get to a place in life that will be fulfilling and meaningful. And then you will be able to surround yourself with people who see that about you, and who will honor you for who you are, and help, not only that, but will be there to help support you, and you can support one another in this journey in understanding who you really are. And those are the people who you want to have around you, not the people who are attracted to this version of yourself that I would say probably has created a codependency with this group that you have around you, who, you know, oftentimes we have people in our lives around us because, and this is not to be a trigger for you, this is coming from personal experience, and I have had to let a lot of people be released from my life who I deeply love and care about. And it's not been easy the past few years, because I realized I put myself around certain people that allowed me to be okay with a version of myself that was not healthy for me, but that allowed me to keep this pattern going, that enabled me not to have to deal with my issues. And that's not to say a negative thing about anyone. I have had everyone who's come into my life I cherish, and I appreciate, and I am grateful, so grateful for the lessons and the heartache and the love that they have, and the pain that they have brought to me. They've helped me get to this place where I am now, and without every person who's come into my life, I wouldn't be able to say that. So I really am grateful for everyone. But at some point, if I was going to grow and serve my highest purpose and get to a place that had meaning for me and allow me to discover who I really am without all of that around me, I had to be honest with myself and say, you know, I am allowing myself to be in this environment because it makes it easier for me to not to have to change, to not have to accept that I've been allowing myself to be in this place that was easier for me and where I didn't have to be honest with what I needed to change and remove from my life to really grow as a person and a more evolved and caring, compassionate, kind being who could maybe help others, myself first, and then others, see how it is to just be yourself and be okay with that, however, you know, ugly and raw and painful it may be, because that is how you get to true meaningful experiences and connections with others who are needing that too. And it's such a stronger way to exist with meaning and connection on a deep level that, you know, I hadn't really had before. And that's not because of the other people, it was completely because of me, because I wasn't allowing myself to be in a place where I was really open to that and honest with myself about how I felt, because I was so scared about opening myself to being vulnerable and letting other people love me, or feeling something of meaning, and allowing myself to share that with another person in a meaningful way, and not just maybe a physical or surface level way, because then, I don't have to deal with what I feel, or being hurt, being rejected, or abandoned, or any of those things, right? Because then if it doesn't have any meaning to me, then it won't hurt or trigger anything. So I say all this to say, wherever you are at today when you're watching this, today is a perfect time to start really diving into what it is that is keeping you from letting go of those things that aren't helping you get to where you want to be. Really delving into what it is that you're most afraid of. What is it that triggers you? What is it that you may not even be aware of that is keeping you from being a true, authentic version of yourself and connecting on a real deep level with others? So for today's meditation, I'm going to work with you on kind of going deep into this anxiety, into this raw place. And it's not going to feel comfortable. I just want to prepare you. And if in any time you feel like you want to come out of it, come out of it. Okay? It's perfectly fine. And then come back to this whenever you feel ready. Okay. So, get in a comfortable position for you. And when you're ready, gently close your eyes. Take a deep breath. Bring your breath in from the bottom of your stomach area up to the crown of your head for 1, 2, 3, 4. And release, pushing your breath down through the root of your spine for 1, 2, 3, 4. Now allow your breath to push down even deeper past the floor, past the ground, down to the root of the earth. Allow your breath to wrap around like a cord of light around the center of the earth. Visualize it wrapping around the core of the earth. Visualize and see the color of your breath. Feel how strong this cord is between you and the center of the earth. Now bring your breath back up to the crown of your head and hold for 1, 2, 3, 4. And release down to the root of your spine for 1, 2, 3, 4. Now bring your breath back up to the crown of your head. And imagine there's a golden sun above your head. Bring your breath into this golden sun above your head for 1, 2, 3, 4. Now allow your breath to expand that golden sun around your head, out around your body. On your next exhale, pushing the golden sun around your body until it's about 6 feet around you, like a balloon. Start to feel the warmth of the sun falling down like stars out around your body and within your body. See the glow of your breath as it moves through your body in this golden sun, as it moves up and down the channel of your body. Allow your breath to go into a regular pattern of breathing that's comfortable for you. And when you're ready, bring your focus to the center of your forehead and that space in between your eyes. And I want you to focus on that place behind your eyes, in between, in the middle of your forehead. It's almost going to be, at first you'll see a little speck of light. Allow yourself to see that white pen light. Focus on that and focus on expanding it out, making it as large as you can. You may start to see a purple glow. Breathe into that purple glow and allow your focus and your mind to expand into that purple space. See yourself walking through into that purple space. Notice that there's a staircase. See that there are 20 stairs in front of you as a spirally staircase, and each stair is a piece of, looks as if it's a piece of white light, but feel your body stepping on each one as you move up the staircase, breathing in and out, in and out. We're going to climb the stairs together. First step, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, and 20. Notice when you reach the top landing of the stairs, you have arrived at a massive tree with a door. Allow yourself to pull the door open and walk inside the space. See inside all of the things that make you feel safe and like you're at home. Feel what it feels like inside this tree trunk, this tree. See the colors that come around you. What do you see? Look out, see the window in this tree. What do you see around you? What does it feel like? What does it smell like? Now I want you to see that there has been a bed placed next to the window. I want you to lie down in this bed. Feel the breeze coming in through the window, the coolness on your face, the warmth of the sun beating down through the window on your body. Feel the safety in here. No one else can get to you here. You are safe. Now I want you to notice that in this space, in this safe space, in this tree, there is a journal and a pen. I'd like you to take this journal and pen and write down all the things that are keeping you from getting to where you want to be. Maybe it's a person, maybe it's an idea, maybe it's a thought, maybe it's a fear, maybe it's a situation. Take a moment, write down all of these things, whatever comes to mind, without thinking about it, whatever first comes into your thought, into your head, into your gut, write them down. Take your list, fold it, and see that there is a hawk at the window. I want you to take this piece of paper, give it to the hawk who is waiting to receive. Now watch as the hawk flies away over the river outside your window and drops this paper into the river, and see as this tiny paper, as now you see it, is dropped from the sky into the river and is floating away. And see how it becomes so tiny and small that you can no longer see it anymore. See how the water has enveloped your paper and how it begins to sink to the bottom as it is flowing away. See how small it is compared to this whole entire place right around you. The space around you is so big, and now you no longer see your paper, and it is gone. What does it feel like to have that gone? Take a deep breath, feel the air coming in to your body, clean, renewed. As you exhale, feel what it is to no longer have those things in your space anymore. Now take a moment to visualize what it is you want to bring into your life, what it is that makes you feel like you, what it is you need to bring in or to allow in, to be in this feeling, in this place of meaning and happiness and contentment and peace. Now when you're ready, open your eyes. Start to wiggle your fingers, your toes. Focus on your breathing. Feel your breath move up from the crown of your head down to your toes, up to the crown of your head, down to your toes, up to the crown of your head, down to your toes. See that you are back where we started, but that you feel so much lighter. It's not uncommon if you are feeling a lot of emotions arising. That's actually very normal. Allow them to come out. If you need to cry, cry. If you need to do something physical to release those emotions, please do that. However you release your emotions, make sure you do that after this. Drink a lot of water. If you start to feel a headache, drink a lot of water. And I would love to hear your feedback going forward. How you're feeling after this. So I will leave this posted so that if you need to come back to this, you can anytime. Know that this is a safe space for you. No judgment here. And I so cherish this time that we have together and appreciate you entrusting me with this practice with you. And I'm sending you all so much love and healing on this journey. And I'll see you next week.